Hey, what's going on, guys? Here I am with another video. This time, of course, you see my hood up onto the Impala. Obviously, I have some work done or getting done to it. So the reason I'm working on it is because the car was actually throwing up a code. And the code, if you see right here, it is code P0523. And it says here that it is the engine oil pressure sensor, the switch circuit high input. So basically, essentially what that is, I already checked it, and it seems to be that the oil pressure sensor went out. So if that's the case, you know, switching out the oil pressure sensor and the filter that's underneath it would, you know, be sufficient enough to fix this car. And it makes sense that it might go out simply because of where the car sits. So, or where the sensor sits. Now this is the engine. Clearly, obviously, it's a massive engine. It's a 5.3 liter V8, as you can see, with active fuel management. So the sensor is right in here, right on the engine itself. And this engine being so hot in in such a small space, it tends to heat up really bad. It heats up so bad, actually, that it tends to short out some wires and some, you know, mechanical things causing some issues. Now that sensor itself actually helps control the active fuel management system. So basically what that is that when you're driving down the road or whatever on a cruising speed and stuff, the engine reads that, or the computer reads that, and shuts down half of its cylinders to improve the fuel consumption. So in a nutshell, it makes it a little bit more fuel efficient. It's not a major thing, but it is pretty substantial to the point of what you're using with your V8 mode, right? So because of that, you know, because it's bad, I'm constantly running in V8 mode. So you can safely assume that this car has been running very bad on gas. And it is what it is. It happens. It doesn't bother me. I get more power to the wheels all the time, so with it off, so it doesn't matter. But the little light annoys me. Alright, so for this job you really don't need much. Obviously you're going to need your new oil pressure sensor, which is this right here. It is part number PS340 from Duralast, obviously. So you're going to need that. You're going to need, clearly, this is my ratchet. An extension, because it does sit between a bunch of stuff and you need to get in there. And of course, I have this OEM, I don't even know if you can see it, but it's an OEM 1 to 1/16 socket, which fits. This is basically made for this specific job. It is an oil pressure sensor socket, so it's specifically made for this. And it actually does the job just fine. So let's go over to the car and get this fixed. Alright, so first things first, this is the new oil pressure sensor that I have. This is where the connectors go. As you can see, it's a 3-prong. And it already has the Teflon on it, so you can just screw it in there. You don't have to worry about putting in, you know, any Teflon tape or anything like that, or any sealant. And it's very simple. All you got to do on the factory one, once you get it, just reach in here and unplug this thing. Okay, as you can see, it is now unplugged. That's this right here, completely unplugged, and you could probably see it in there. I don't know if you can see it. It's that thing right in there. So now all you want to do is put this in there and unscrew it. Alright, so there it is. It has a lot of gunk, which makes me think that I definitely need to switch out the filter. But I did try to find the filter. But the problem with that was that they didn't have it in stock. So I'm waiting for it to come in, and then I'm going to have to get it out again, which is fine with me. But to get the filter out, all you got to do is reach in there with a little pick or something and just pull it out. And then just get the new one, drop it in there and push it back into place, and then grab your new you know, sensor, and then put it back in there. So right now the only thing I'm going to do is put the new sensor in, and then later on when I get the filter, I'm going to redo this job again just for the filter itself. but it's always better to do both at the same time since you're already in there. So now you want to get your new oil pressure sensor and basically just put it in there and thread it into place. You want to hand tighten, and something that's very important to note is that you want to make sure that it's completely hand tightened, mainly because it is all aluminum stuff that you're working with, and you do not, I repeat, do not want to torque it into place, because if you torque it into place, you run the risk of, you know, pretty much destroying your sensor. So hand tighten it. I always like to just grab the extension and the socket itself, and then just, there we go, and then just tighten it with my hand until it gets a little tough. And once it's hand tightened and it's not going anywhere, you can just back it out and then grab your wires again, and then find the correct threading, or the correct way that the plug goes in, and then plug it in. Might be a little tough because of the wires. Okay, and it looks like it's in now. As you can see, it's 100% in. Looks good. So now that it's in, you want to turn on the car for about 2 to 3 minutes and make sure that the sensor is not basically that it's not leaking. If it's leaking, you want to, you know, remove everything again and then just tighten it a little bit harder. Something too that you want to do is make sure you clear the codes so that you're not confusing yourself and wondering why the sensor's still on or still going off. So clear the code first and then turn on the car so that you know if the problem's fixed or not. Alright, so you can see that the temperature is now to normal operating temperature, and the check engine light is usually right here, but as you can see there's no light, so it's off. And I do have my scan tool connected, and it's reading again, but it doesn't look like there's anything popping up. See, it says no DTCs or freeze frame presently stored in the vehicle's computer. So it looks everything like it's good now. Let's go over to the engine and see if there's any leaks. Alright, so there it goes. It's all fully installed. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's absolutely no leaks whatsoever in there. So there you go. Alright, so thank you guys for watching. That job was very simple. It took all about what, 15 minutes maybe from start to finish. So that's how you do it. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and till next time, guys.